So I work full-time in finance, and one day the partner of my group came up to me and said, "Hey Alex, whatever you've been doing for the past 8 months, keep it up because your work performance has improved considerably." And so there were two things that I really changed. The first was my mindset. So I started taking more ownership of my responsibilities and becoming thoroughly invested in the process. As a result, my work output increased and so did the quality of my work. The second thing I changed was my supplementation. Because prior to that 8-month period, I tweaked my supplement stack so I could further increase my performance in the gym as well as the workplace. And now I want to share that stack with you guys. That being said, I've done my research, but I strongly encourage you guys to do your own as well. Information is constantly changing, there's always new studies and clinical trials being conducted, and I can already imagine in the comment section people probably berating each other or criticizing some of the supplements I take in this video. Honestly guys, these are just the subs that I take based on scientific evidence as well as anecdotal evidence. I'll also say that I'm sponsored by API, so there are quite a few API supplements in my stack, but at the end of the day there are only really 3 or 4 supplements that I strongly recommend that have measurably impacted not only my performance in the gym but as well as the workplace. So hang on to the end of the video because I'll tell you guys what those 3 or 4 supplements are. But in any case, let's jump into it. The supplements that I take every day to help boost my mind and my body. So as you can see, there are a ton of supplements here, and for obvious reasons, I'm not going to talk about each supplement that thoroughly, but I will cover the reason why I take the supplement. So if I'm taking it for work improvement purposes or fitness purposes, the dosage amount, and then what the impact really is on me specifically. So I'm going to go through these in no particular order, but I will say at the end of the video, I'm going to cover the 3 or 4 supplements, or at least point them out, the ones that I really recommend. So number 1 is glutamine. The reason I take this is for fitness purposes, it's meant for muscular recovery, and I take 5 grams every single day. In my opinion, this is kind of low priority. Multivitamin, I don't have to say a lot about this, just for general health, and you stick to the serving size that's on the bottle. CLA, meant for non-stimulant fat loss. I'll take anywhere from 4 to 6 pills a day, so 2 pills with a meal, and obviously I take this for fitness purposes. Amino acids, so I take 6 pills every morning right after I work out. I take this for fitness purposes and it aids in the recovery of muscle. Not only that, I take pills instead of powders because powders generally contain additional additives and food coloring that I'm trying to avoid. D-aspartic acid, fenugreek, and triglycerides. I take these for fitness purposes. They help with testosterone production, and in terms of dosage, I'll take 610 milligrams of fenugreek, so 1 capsule, 625 milligrams of triglycerides, also 1 capsule, and then 4 grams of D-aspartic acid every morning right before I work out. Maca powder. So I'll take 2 tablespoons a day, and this was actually recommended to me by a friend, and I'll take this for both work and fitness purposes. The takeaway with maca powder is I generally feel more energized and I have a bit more energy throughout my day-to-day. Taurine. I'll take this for fitness and for work purposes, 4 grams a day. And the awesome thing about taurine is it actually has a protective effect on your brain. Because as we undergo significant stress, physical and mental stress, we naturally deplete our body's taurine stores. So I'll supplement with 4 grams, and as a result, it actually decreases anxiety and increases your ability to focus. And you'll see taurine in popular energy drinks like Red Bull or Monster, but at the end of the day, I'll take 4 grams of taurine, and I do notice a difference in my ability to lock in. I'll pair this up with caffeine, and you get that energy boost from the caffeine without any of the jitters. Caffeine. I take 200 milligrams every morning. This is the first thing I pop into my mouth right when I wake up. It has its work applications, its fitness applications, and because I take caffeine, I don't drink any coffee. So 200 milligrams every morning gets me locked in and ready to go. ZMA. So I'll take 3 pills every night right before I go to sleep. Taking it for work and for fitness purposes makes me feel like I get more restful sleep. Not only that, increases testosterone production and growth hormone production. So, great supplement. The theanine also adds a little component to it which helps me sleep deeper. Beta-alanine. So I'll take this for fitness purposes, and it increases your muscles' carnosine concentrations. And carnosine is in charge of balancing pH levels within your muscles, and as a result, it combats muscular fatigue. I'll take 4 grams of beta-alanine with my pre-workout shake every morning. Creatine monohydrate, one of the most studied supplements in the bodybuilding industry. I take this for fitness purposes, and I'll take 5 grams every single day. So creatine assists in your body's production of ATP, which is used in muscle contractions. So the more ATP you have, the stronger your muscular contractions, which over time, if you're consistently training, leads to more muscle growth and more size. Next up is green superfood powder. So I take this for general wellness purposes, 1 scoop right before I work out every morning. And what I really take it for is the probiotics and the digestive enzymes. So it helps with the digestion and makes things flow easier. Last but not least, beef protein powder. Obviously I take this for fitness purposes. So I'll take 1 scoop with my pre-workout shake and then 1 scoop with my post-workout shake. And the reason why I take beef protein powder is occasionally I'll change it up. So I'll either take beef protein powder or a whey isolate protein. And the nice thing about the beef protein powder is I realize I normally don't feel as bloated and it sits a little easier in my stomach. So I mix it up from time to time. It's either going to be beef protein or a whey protein isolate. Finally, when I'm traveling, and I'll put out a video about how I pack for travel, I'll throw it in these little containers. So as you can see, I have my powders all mixed up individually in each of these capsules, and these store fantastically when you're on the road. So they fit in my carry-on, and I'm able to throw all my other clothing on top of it, just pack these up, and I'm good to go. And because of all these powders and how they're laid out, I will pre-mix all my powders just like this every single Sunday before I begin my work week. So what are my top 3 supplements that I recommend out of all these? Number 1, creatine. So I take this for fitness purposes, and honestly guys, one of the most studied supplements in bodybuilding. When I started taking creatine in combination with proper hydration, a solid diet, a good training program, I packed on 15 pounds of great quality muscle. So I highly recommend this. Number 2, caffeine. Guys, like I mentioned earlier, I take 200 milligrams every single morning. Fantastic supplement. I don't spend money on coffee. These travel well. These are extremely cheap and affordable. And not only that, if you have trouble waking up in the mornings, just leave them by the side of your bed with a cup of water. Then when you take these caffeine pills, that's pretty much game over. You're not going to be able to go back to sleep. So it forces you to really get up, get moving, and get out of bed. So last but not least, taurine. I'll take 4 grams of taurine every single morning right before I work out. And honestly guys, when I started taking taurine, I realized I was able to focus not just more in the gym, but also in my work hours afterwards. I have friends that'll take taurine in the middle of the day or during lunch, and it helps them refocus and get what they need to get done. Taurine is extremely affordable, so I buy it in bulk. But like I mentioned, I take this every single day, 4 grams, and it's worked very well for me. So that's about it guys. I'll probably have a supplement list floating around right over here. And then my top 3 supplements, once again, creatine, caffeine, taurine. I swear by those guys. If you liked what you heard, go ahead and click the like button below and click subscribe because I'll be putting out new videos every week to help you bump up the productivity and rev up the efficiency. And if you have a favorite supplement that might not have been on this list, or a supplement that is on this list that you use every day, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. I'll be joining in the discussion. But in any case, I'll see you guys next week.